Why do we sleep? Here's a strange fact to start with. You will spend roughly 1/3 of your entire life unconscious, lying down, doing basically nothing productive on purpose. If an alien landed on Earth and watched humans do this every single night, they would probably assume it was some kind of malfunction. That is, if sleeping isn't universal. So why does every single animal on this planet, from house cats to whales to tiny fruit flies, need to sleep? The honest answer is, scientists are still piecing it together, but here's what we do know. First, sleep is when your brain takes out the trash. Literally. While you're awake, your brain cells produce waste products as a byproduct of all that thinking. During deep sleep, a cleanup system called the glymphatic system kicks into high gear, flushing that waste out. Skip sleep for too long, and that waste starts piling up, which is part of why sleep deprivation makes you feel so foggy, forgettable, and just generally like a phone stuck at 1% battery. Second, sleep is when your brain files away memories. Whatever you learn today, that new fact, that new guitar chord, that embarrassing thing you're trying to forget, sleep helps decide what gets stored long term and what gets deleted. Which is why cramming all night before a test without sleeping is usually a terrible idea. You're basically trying to save a file while yanking the power cord out at the same time. Third, sleep is when your body does repair work. Growth hormone gets released, muscles rebuild, and your immune system gets a serious tune-up. Ever notice how getting sick makes you want to sleep constantly? It's not laziness. That's your body diverting all its energy into fixing itself, like closing a store for renovations. Now, what happens if you just don't sleep? In 1964, a 17-year-old boy named Randy Gardner decided to find out, on purpose, for a school science project. He stayed awake for about 11 days straight. By the end, he was struggling to speak clearly, seeing things that weren't there, and forgetting simple words mid-sentence. His brain was basically begging him to stop. Sleep isn't the same for every creature either. Giraffes sleep for as little as 30 minutes a day in short naps, because standing around napping on the open savanna is basically an all-you-can-eat buffet sign for lions. Koalas, on the other hand, sleep up to 20 hours a day, partly because the eucalyptus leaves they eat are so low in energy, they need to conserve every bit of fuel they can. Somewhere out there, a koala is currently living its absolute best life. Dolphins have arguably the strangest sleep trick of all. They sleep with only half of their brain at a time, keeping one eye open so they can keep swimming and breathing without drowning. Imagine doing all your homework with only half your brain asleep. Actually, some of us may already know exactly what that feels like. Humans cycle through different stages of sleep every night, from light sleep to deep sleep to dreaming REM sleep, and back again, usually 4 or 5 times before morning. Each stage does a different job, like a nightly assembly line for your brain and your body. So, the next time someone tells you sleeping is a waste of time, feel free to politely disagree. It's cleanup duty, memory storage, body repair, and an emotional reset all happening at once, every single night, completely free of charge. Your body isn't shutting down when you sleep. It's working the night shift so that you can show up tomorrow as a slightly better, slightly smarter, slightly less grumpy version of yourself.